Hi, I'm Mark Mosemann with Misty Mountain Dairy, a farm here in South Central PA, Fulton County, close to Warfordsburg, PA, with my father and wife and brother, all partners, and my mother as well. We farm about 850 to 900 acres and have about 400 Holstein milk cows.
Sort of give us an overall description of what your risk management plan is here at Misty Mountain Dairy.
Well, basically what we do is use a min-max futures option, and we do that, we ship milk to Maryland, Virginia milk co-op. So they have an agreement or a loose working agreement with Blendling Associates, and we can basically look on their site, we get updates from them and from Maryland, Virginia on class 1 movers and that type of thing. And basically what we do is sit down and know that through our accountants, we work with budgets and that type of thing to gather where our class 3 break even is. We use that then to kind of box in a little bit of protection. So basically we'll take class 3 and class 4, and this past year we did about 200,000 pounds per month. So we were about 3.2 million total, actually the hundredweights.
When you're looking at the prices, your break-even price, are you trying to build in a profit if possible, or are you just trying to make sure you cover your cost of production, or I guess it sort of depends on what the market's doing?
It does depend a little. What we do is we start with the break-even, and what we've done this past year, or for 2022, we built in a $2.50 hundredweight profit margin. Now the premium for the contracts comes out of that, so you have to, for us it's about 40 cents average. So you're looking at about somewhere between $2 to $2.10 per hundredweight that we're basically locking in. Now, given a different year, if the futures aren't as conducive, maybe we just protect ourselves with bare minimum, or if the feed prices are up and margin is very tight, sometimes we're kind of railroaded into that. Now, with the min-max, you give up a little because there's protection on both sides.
Now you mentioned feed prices. Do you also have work with trying at some point during the year trying to lock in feed costs with whatever your main commodities are that you use here?
We do. Our goal is to lock in that profit margin. Mainly the way we do that is with our protein. We make all of our own corn grains, so that between high moisture and dry ground that we store, all that's pretty much taken care of in a normal crop year without drought conditions. And then protein concentrate, we will try to lock some of that in. We also feed canola, and we also feed cottonseed. So we will actively try to lock in canola if the market is correct. And then cottonseed, what we typically do with cottonseed is try to buy at the low point, which is later in the year.
Are there any other programs that you use, like dairy margin coverage or dairy revenue protection? Have you looked into those at all? Have you used
We do.
those?
We do. We usually, the dairy margin protection coverage, we've done that. We usually do that at a base level, so that adds in, and then we layer on the Blendling with the Maryland, Virginia, the Blendling Associate Min-Max. And in the past, we have done some of the DRP, but it just wasn't as conducive this year, so we kind of shied away from it. But we have used that in the past, so we will layer in 2 to 3 different tools. And
So 2022 has been a better year than a lot of folks expected, and probably I imagine risk management plans this year haven't paid out a whole lot. What are your feelings on that?
we try to be fairly consistent, and we look at the premiums kind of as an insurance policy. So it's there if we need it, but it's almost great if you don't, because the price of milk has gone high above and beyond what you've anticipated. So you absorb the loss. Yes, for us, for this year, it was about $8,700. We call that a premium, assurance premium, basically. And you just move on because the price has been good enough for us that we've actually been able to get some cash tucked away. We've paid our lines of credit down, and we're probably going to do some pretty aggressive tax planning at the end of the year, all to try to keep everything as liquid as possible going into next year, because quite frankly, we don't know what next year looks like.
Well, it's rare you have 2 really good years in a row.
Yes.
So
If you're going to put a premium on the cost of what you're doing, basically don't put it up high enough that you're hurting yourself financially. I mean, you're protecting your milk as well, but if the premiums are so high because you're trying to protect so much, sometimes that's not conducive. So you have to find where your sweet spot is for your dairy and your income.